How are you?
We are and heed fool.
What's left of them?
Yeah.
A very croaky and heed fool.
You're 5/7 of any of
We're
Yeah,
5/7
5/7
of an heed
Yeah.
fool. Yeah, we're
Mm.
down a drummer and a violinist.
Okay.
Due to emigration and influenza.
Sickness. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. A lot of
that
plagues.
going around, am I right?
Yeah.
That's a very good question.
Bit of crack.
Well, I think you make music because you can, and we make music because you can. And then we also hopped on
Hopefully.
board, and now it's way more fun than what we do 90% of our days.
Yeah.
Then we can-
It's a real it was a real commitment kind of vibe. Kevin just
Yeah.
being like,
I want to make a band.
I'm gonna make a band, I'm gonna make a little WhatsApp group here now, I'm gonna add
As they did in the
95
commitments.
the little
The WhatsApp group. I think it's primarily for the fun of it.
To be fair, yeah. Like it's a fun way. I definitely like write songs to express things that I can't in words, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. Like being able to kind of like to play it as a group and stuff is just really for the crack of it, really.
It
Like
is,
the
yeah.
buzz that we get on
Yeah.
stage and
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
yeah.
like you write these songs that are deep, meaningful, and they do have good meaning, and obviously we understand that. But then we have an obscene amount of crack when it comes to playing them.
It's true.
Mm.
Yeah, it's fun. It's therapeutic. It's
For sure.
I always
Yeah.
find that the band kind of
Exactly.
hit its what do you call those crests?
Yeah.
When like I feel like I always needed it most.
Mm.
And that's why like I'll always say like it's my favorite thing
Mm.
on this planet. And like getting to like just text Kev and be like, had a terrible day and here's 4 of the worst lyrics you've ever heard in your life, and you always heart reacted no matter what.
Supportive.
Yeah.
Or you turn it into a cursed little devil.
Yeah, like over the years, we've all kind of, or definitely I've kind of played with each of you, like individually at like different levels, like throughout our lives and stuff. I don't know.
You're
We always
definitely the
kind
center of the universe.
of.
The full verse.
Just in general. Yeah.
No, I don't know. Like, yeah, from my perspective, I don't know. We'd all kind of like done our own little kind of like projects and stuff before, to varying degrees. And then I was just kind of sitting on a bunch of songs at the start of last year, at the start of 2022. And I was on the verge of kind of like moving away and like quitting my job and just starting to like actually give it a go. This whole music thing. So yeah, I don't know. I just kind of called on each of you and
It was
these
like the
songs
Avengers.
It was
together,
like the Avengers.
It was like the
Commitment
Avengers.
Avengers.
I think at that time, so we geared up for like the first gig last summer, and then after that, everyone had their own things going on, and Kev ended up
Life.
moving away.
Yeah.
And then really, I think the group formed as it is now
Valencia.
in Valencia.
Yeah,
When
yeah,
we
for
went,
sure.
yeah, we went to record the EP in Valencia, and I think that was when we spent like 4 days together and just had obscene amount of
Yeah.
and that
Ridiculous.
was like, all right, this is a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to
It's
continue.
being there with the headphones on and just being like, oh jeez, look at that.
We're real
That's,
bad.
that's a bit of music that didn't exist before. How
Yeah.
does now it exists here? Now I can show this to my mom.
It's funny. There's like some people that we just really, really love listening to that might necessarily come through in the music. That like,
that's true too.
yeah, I don't know. Like I've always been like a massive Talking Heads fan for sure. I think that was like kind of one of the like big ones. And there's like maybe one tune that kind of resembles them in like a little bit, or like has borrowed something, I guess. Like little licks and stuff. But yeah, just
Inspiration.
A little bit. When I was younger, I definitely think Bowie and Beatles and bigger classic names like that were like, and also I wasn't really raised on them, so I enjoyed the fact that I got into them.
That was when
like,
you were stumbling into them. Like,
yeah,
like,
and I was like obsessed with Bowie from when I was like a late teenager. It
We're
was,
still
like, my-
obsessed with those.
Yeah, but not nearly as much as I was. Yeah, and then just to finish with me, I'd say in more recent times I've gotten a lot more electronic in the things that I like, and also traditional as well. Like I always loved like folk, like Nick Drake and all them, but also more so Irish stuff. I would say in recent times, the scratch march. But yeah, that'll do me. I was loving those.
Yeah, I suppose when I was younger, when I was learning to like properly play saxophone, it was mostly like kind of New Orleans kind of style. I got really, really heavily into them at one stage, and that was like was it Youngblood Brass Band, and there's a couple more obviously. Hypnotic Brass Band, Hot 8, and those ones were what I listened to a lot when I was younger, and probably where I had the most development in my like skill as well.
So do you think do you think like what you were listening to then has influenced your saxophone playing now?
Genuinely, yeah.
Definitely lyrically, like I loved stuff like Talking Heads and like David Byrne, and like even that like run down into like Bell X1 and like Paul Noonan's lyrics I think are so like both like ludicrous kind of like they're really like kind of like I don't know like zany in one kind of way but extremely humane as well, and like I always loved that line that he kind of told. So it's something I've been like conscious of while writing. I don't know if it actually like is reflected in it.
Absolutely.
But it's cool like like to have that in.
Pop an Eskimo,
yeah.
Like that is
a lovely line.
It's such a lovely line, but it's obviously just so real.
Thanks. Eskimo Mints, if you're watching,
Sponsored.
please. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of like lyrically, and then I don't know, like growing up, especially in my teens, it was kind of like yourself and kind of like discovering people. It was like honestly the like soundscapes of like big folk, I guess, like Bonnie Bear's like kind of like second album where it was just this like huge expanse of the thing. I was really drawn to that, I guess, and yeah, I don't know. Again, it's bits of everything, and like now I'm just kind of like I'm again into like a real like electronic phase. Also, like I really like old school punk. I've been listening to a lot of like Damned and like Television and stuff at the minute, and like that stuff's class. Yeah.
For me, you were saying like you've had to discover like for like Bowie, Beatles, and stuff like that. I was looking like my dad is super into music, so I always had that music on.
Yeah.
That's why like that's a big U2 fan. Was always listening to U2, and then that kind of got me to Bowie and Beatles. A lot of CDs and records in the house. But then when I started actually playing music, like I didn't go to any lessons or anything, so I just started learning all the Arctic Monkey songs.
Yeah.
So literally, I've had a bass, I had tabs, and I just learned every single song. So I think whether I like it or not now, I think that's really influenced my playing. But then now I think it's more like got really into like disco. Like obviously disco bass lines are just they're what they are. I think that's kind of, I wouldn't say influencing me, but I'm kind of like when I'm playing I think about that.
I really like being able to bring like I think a lot of like not even to be silly, like a lot of female influences kind of into the band as well. Like I was reared so heavily on Kate Bush and that kind of level of theatricality and performance and just absolute zaniness that you can kind of bring things. I know I like definitely love to take that into like when we're recording some of the songs and like performing and that as well, especially because like my hands are usually empty, so I'm just like, what am I gonna do while you're all musical? So yeah, and I think I've kind of only started really getting involved in like the lyrical process in the last like year or so with Kev, and it kind of was always a joke of like Kev's real like that Bonnie Bear big beautiful kind of writing, and I'm
doesn't
like
really know what he's talking about,
and I'm like, here's their address, this is their mother's maiden name. I'm so specific, and I think that came from a lot of like the likes of like Kate Bush and that, but also like a massive CMAT fan right now, and I think she's just one of the best things that's ever come out of Ireland, and like that level of like vulnerability in songwriting, and similar to like the likes of like Boy Genius, Lucy Dacus would be huge influences in that. And like I was a massive emo growing up, huge emo, you can tell by everything about me, and so the likes of Paramore and Hayley Williams and that was like a huge like singing influence and like that. And I know like we've even got like one song that we're working on to release, and it's slightly like rockier than what we do, and it's just female rage, and I love it.
I don't know, it's a lot of the stuff that we've kind of written so far, I guess, is kind of born out of like this like feeling of like claustrophobia even, and like it'll kind of like burst out then, I guess, in like kind of like by the end of the song. It's definitely hard to kind of put like one specific kind of like genre on it. Some of it kind of gets a bit like kind of like soulful. A lot of it now is kind of leaning more to kind of like an alt rocky kind of Radioheady kind of inspired thing. Yeah. And then like having textures, like sure, like Rory hops on the clarinet. We've got like James on sax, Moynihan's on like violin and stuff, and like with that, it kind of gives like more kind of contemporary bands like Black Country New Road and like that kind of scene.
Rehearsing and playing together is fun, but as soon as you're up on the stage, it's a different vibe. Obviously, everyone knows that. But it's just, I think we stage big or small. I think we always go, oh, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm always like just so amazed by this. I don't know if this is weird. So amazed by how talented ye are, and that like there's like points where like I know there's a point last year where like I wasn't singing and I was just shaking my leg. And I was just looking around and I could hear, and I was like, "These are just riffing." Like I knew the things were different than how we'd done them before, and I was just like, "God, I love you so much." And I was looking down, and everyone was like, people were smiling. I'm smiling. I'm wearing sunglasses. I'm like, this is just the most fun in the world, and these people are so great, and I get to be up here with them.
I think I'd second all of that. To be honest, it's very cliche, but it's just that extra bit of energy that you have with each other. Looking around, seeing us all kind of, I think we're getting more comfortable to kind of like improvise a little bit more when we're playing live now as well, which is really cool. And then also, I guess over the course of the year, starting to see, it was really cool to debut songs in front of people, I guess, and like just gauge their like initial reaction. Absolutely terrifying as well, but even just kind of seeing people's relationship with those songs kind of grow, and like some people start to know different like bits of it, whether it be like kind of like singing along or like just knowing the kind of like rhythm of it and stuff as well. It's mad. I don't know that it's kind of reflected back in that way, because it can't just feel like it's in the vacuum, so it just kind of lets you know that this exists in a world and we can share it. So that's what I love most about it, I guess.
For me, it gives me a space to kind of recognize the work that we had put in ourselves, and like it is at like those gigs that you're probably like I don't know, like really appreciating the parts that other people put in more and more. And I don't know, it gives it the levity it deserves.
And personally, I just love like wringing every last drop of crack out of performance. You'll see me like literally jumping on stage in the background,
it's
just
holding
in between
the guitar and the clarinet at the same
can't.
time, like
like I physically can't contain the energy. That's what I love. Jeez.
You start with this one, Kevin.
Bit.
Start with tomorrow.
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah.
As the time of recording this, I guess we're like on the verge of releasing our first kind of studio single, so hopefully not more of them. Just I think just more time like we've had up until now. It's been lovely to kind of grow across this year, and just getting the chances to play live as much as we can, to write with each other and express ourselves in this medium is class. So in whatever capacity that is, as long as we're still doing this, I'm kind of happy. So I guess that's what the future holds, is just
more.
Yeah.
More.
I'm really excited about that, of just going into the future and just getting to be a part of this amazing generation of Irish musicians that we have right now.
That's
And
pretty
women.
That's pretty